So the truth is that no amount of traffic will fix a bad offer. And this is a marketing principle that applies to every single business out there, whether it's a physical business or an online business. At the end, the offer is what you're putting out there to the market. Now, a lot of people confuse the offer with the actual product or the service itself. The offer and the service, that's just part of the offer. But a big part of the offer is the messaging, how you're hooking them into your service process, into your sales process, essentially. And so yes, a lot of people confuse the offer with the product or the service itself. That's just part of the offer. Most of it is how you're communicating that offer and the words that you're using specifically. The reason I say this is because a lot of times what stops working in the market is not the offer, but the way that you're communicating that offer, the words that you're using, the overall messaging, or a lot of people talk about the marketing angle, essentially. And the reason I want to talk about this is because there's different ways that you can reposition your offer to make it new and to basically find a blue ocean in the industry and in the market. And let's talk about that, right? Like, how can you find blue ocean marketing angles within your offer? Because that really makes a huge difference to your revenue at the end. Like, if you feel like your marketing isn't working the way that it should, most likely you're just using the same messaging that your competition is using, and that's already fatigued. Basically, that's already saturated. So again, it's not your service or your product that gets saturated, it's the way that you're communicating your service and your product. Now, it is true that once there's some offers that the product or the service delivery process can already be saturated, in the sense of, like, once you have people in the sales process, prospects are kind of tired of seeing the same service delivery process to get to the outcome. That can fatigue 100%. But what I'm talking about today is about the process of hooking them in, your marketing. And a lot of business owners, they struggle to just getting their calendars packed with qualified booked appointments. And the reason this happens is because they're just not putting out the right words out there in terms of the messaging related to their offer. And let's talk about this, right? Like, how can you reposition your offer in a way that will allow you to find basically a blue ocean in the industry? And a method that I've identified that has worked extremely good for my clients is basically breaking down your service delivery process. So that's one step, breaking down your service delivery process from the moment that they pay to the onboarding all the way when they start getting results. What is happening throughout that process for you to actually help them? What's the final outcome? And there's usually, you don't have only just one outcome. You have different outcomes that your process and your mechanism allows them to have. One, you want to specify those outcomes again. Then you also want to specify what's the step-by-step service delivery process to get them to that outcome. And you also want to specify what's their current situation related to your offer. So what you'll quickly find out is that there's different ways that you can communicate your offer, and there's different micro outcomes that you're actually able to provide. And you'll find out that most people in your competition, they're leading with just a few of those outcomes, specific outcomes, or with a few of those service delivery steps, even if you have a very similar offer to other people in the market, to other business owners. So what I want you to do, once you have identified those simple variables when it comes to different outcomes that you provide and also the step-by-step service delivery process, is start leading in your hooks with those types of, with those variables specifically. And also identify if you have specific types of ICP, like ideal client profiles, that most people in your competition are just not leading with when it comes to the hooks. And also start using those. So this is a way that allows you to view your offer in a very simplified way and start coming up with new hooks that you can use within your marketing. And you'll find out that using these hooks basically will translate into a better cost per lead, into a better cost per call, and therefore into a better cost per acquisition.